So we do have another beautiful game coming up. StarTale versus DeToNator coming out of ASEAN esports competition. Prize pool 68K. I don't think there's a lot of people that know about this entire competition going on, but I'm telling you, these fights are intense. Signify, Team Faceless, I would definitely look out for the Juggernaut build in there. If you're going to look at the secondary fight that came out, man, the team fight out of that battle was just so intense at the end. I mean, you're talking like a battle of the Goliath. I mean, they had no shit like a 15-minute team fight in the lower half of that jungle. It was beyond measure. I was constantly wondering when it was going to end at a certain point. If you're 420 friendly, that is definitely a fight to go into. We're going to go in and watch the StarTale DeToNator. Compliments of StarTale and looks like the Ram Corporation. I don't know who if y'all are big on Dodges, but Dodge, Plymouth, whatever. They got that Ram logo. Looks like First Blood just got drawn. Looks like they're going to give it to the Dark Willow, and Dark Willow picks it up on the Venomancer. So that's probably, was Bramble Maze. It wasn't even the Shadow Realm last hit. All right, so go her. A lot of mad props on that one. Let's look at the KDR. So just one and... what in the blazes? They got the Venom. Oh, there's the assist sitting on top of the Night Stalker. Okay, so Night Stalker did at least get the assist for the participation. We do have a nice, beautiful mid matchup. Gyrocopter, something we have not seen in a hot minute. Gyro versus Lena. Lena's going to drop a lot of those stuns. Gyro's going to be able to hit up with a lot of that AoE splash damage. It looks like he's just going to go with that homing missile and then that rocket barrage just as a quick follow-up. If he can land that combo, it comes out to be a lot of damage. Rocket damage 12, and it's like a non-stop tick, tick, tick. It is crazy. Ooh, looks like we do have a stun coming in outside from the very dead Witch Doctor. Oh man, I was hoping for him. He did get off the the nice Maledict. Fortunately, not enough damage. Definitely not enough poison damage coming off from Vino. Looks like Vino actually hasn't skilled into anything yet. I don't know what we're seeing here. So this is my first time seeing a non-skilled Venom. Oh, there he is. So he did pick up Venomous Scale as well as Poisonous Sting. So let's go back over here. We'll see this mid. It looks like we do have a bottle already picked up on the side of Genomancer. Excuse me, Gyrocopter. Genomancer. That sounds like a beautiful character for somebody. We do have a bottle also picked up on the Lena. I think Genomancer might be from here as a New Earth. I don't have a good answer for that. Might look that one up later. Homing missile on its way. Despite being such low damage. Oh man, see, I'm catching glitches here. Looks like I'm not able to pick up on his rocket barrage. We are kind of coming out from the Eastern world, so it is going to be coming out from Asia. So there are going to be glitches on our side. Let's see what's coming up. We do see some ignite splash damage. Looks like that's not enough to help hold back the Ogre. Ogre is probably going to fall. He does fall to the Chaos Knight. And they share the bounty. They're holding hands right there. Look at that. That's not a bad way to go. I don't mind holding hands with somebody. It's if I have to share the bounty, I'm good with it. All right, so now let's go ahead and see what some of the other item builds. We do have some basic boots sitting on top of the Night Stalker. He is, man, he's gone through some tangos really friggin' quick. Does have some extra mana regen. You have Chaos Knight, standard 1/1/1 build. He does have nice little bonus damage. He might eat this tango with that Iron Branch, or he might be building into a Magic Wand. Who really knows? Magic Stick. Let's see what's up on the Dark Willow. A little bit of extra movement speed. That's probably getting her in and out of... man, she's so squishy. She's the biggest part of her problem. She gets in any trouble, she needs to be able to bounce really quickly. Plus, her standard move speed is actually 290, so this additional 20 gets her into like a safe range. Really quickly, we have AA. He is not a lot left. Despite getting some last hits, apparently, everything's sitting on his, not even in his courier on his, there he goes. Courier's on its way. So he's going to go ahead and get the courier to deliver everything that's sitting in his inventory. I saw a pair of boots, some eyes in there. We do have... another man, he just loves sending the missiles over there. So that homing missile just, I want to say doing work, but not really. I mean, it's kind of hard unless you have the follow-up. I don't know exactly how well this is going. He is actually sitting at 21 right now, whereas she's sitting at 18, 21-4. So he is last hitting the crap out of her. Did pick up a Wraith Band in his inventory, sitting on level 5, and she has been pressured for some reason to walk back. Really, really confused. Is that a DC scenario? No, she's drinking, and she's TPing back. She just decided to go for a walk of shame. Did not get that Dragon Slave out. Not 100% sure why she decided to walk back instead of setting up. While pushing the Clary would have been popped. Rune control is out. I mean, she doesn't really have vision outside from the top. The top could give her the benefit of knowing that at the 6th minute mark she could be able to fill up her bottle again, but she doesn't have a nice rune over here sitting off either. Let's see what's up with Ogre Magi. Magi down here does have a lot of mana going the way of Clarities. I'm a personal fan of Ring of Solace. Oh, really threw it on the floor. Pick it up yourself. Actually, just going to leave it there. Nope, he picks it up himself. That was adorable. Drop it in his inventory. I don't know how. I don't know. We still are chasing Immortals in this rank, by the way. Some Immortals, by the way, apparently just don't know how to give their homies the tangos. Might have been saying, like, hey, I'll be fine. I have this ring. You keep it. I mean, they're definitely in comms for sure at this ranking. Looks like we did miss a kill up here, possibly a double. Vino does die for the Night Stalker. I mean, you only have the 2 supports left, but it looks like last one's going to go down the way of the gyrocopter. So, well, looks like his 3 killing streak is gone. She was able to pick up that kill for 291 gold. That is a lot of fat farm. So Vino does have a Blightstone going in for some pretty significant harass. That is a great way to right-click people. On top of that Poisonous Sting, I tell people don't buy your Plague Wards until you've maxed out your Poison Sting. Your Plague Wards damage is based off Poison Sting. So getting something that hits for nothing and feeding is he gonna be able to right click this girl? She might be in a little bit of trouble. That it was a level 3 when it comes to that Vampir's Gale. I don't know how much trouble she's in. Oh, she did die. Man, that was a quick Q. All he had to do is just kind of burst her down really rapidly on that Venomous Gale. We have a Witch Doctor, does have boots, another Blightstone in his inventory. Now, 2 Blightstones in a lane. They don't exactly stack, but you can always guarantee that they're going to feel pain whenever somebody hits. We do have also a lot of regen coming on that Centaur Runner. Looks like Chaos Knight's going to try to re-engage on top of that level 3, what would be considered a squishy. AA does come in, drop a stun, lands it on top of that Centaur War Runner. They're going to come in and keep trying to right-click down this Ogre. Ogre drops the Ignite. Centaur's retaliation is felt. Does get the pick off on the AA. AA actually turned back and killed himself because of that retaliate. So if he didn't decide to bounce back, would have never felt the strength of the Centaur War Runner. Because that sting stings. So the winner in this case is the Chaos Knight. See how mid is going. Looks like they swapped out. Dark Willow sitting over here at this beautiful mid-range. Vision. Kind of nowhere. I should have Vision here. I do have Fog of War, I believe. Oh, I have Player. So let's go to directed camera so I can maintain control. That makes a lot more sense. My eyes were bleeding trying to find a lot of these things. All right, so we do have Ogre Magi set up against the AA. They're the only ones left in lane. Looks like Chaos Knight is actually going to take a long walk of shame, giving that AA a chance to get some solo XP. AA still trying to catch some last hits in there, despite being so squishy. At this point now that the Centaur's back with level 6, I'd be concerned because that Stampede would be a really quick way to die. They don't have vision. They don't know where the Chaos Knight is, so it's really difficult to engage. He's also not Bloodlusted. They do have 1 level of Bloodlust on top of the Ogre Magi. Might choose to give it to him now. We'll see how this goes. Does not only passes off for the Ignite, does give the Bloodlust finally. Not enough to entice him to actually spend off the Stampede. But Bloodlust does last for quite some time. I believe it is, it should be 30 seconds. Duration 30 seconds on the Bloodlust. Centaur can actually just kind of free farm for a little bit. Not heavily stressed out. See how Lena's doing mid. She did pick up the Knuckles. That is a ton of attack speed, which on top of the fact that she ends up with a Dragon Salve and Light Array bonus from the Fiery Soul. We do have an ulti popped off on the Vino top. He's going to die for it. Fear thrown out. Catches nobody. He looks like the Witch Doctor never even touched that ultimate. And yet she still dies again. Sad part, I mean, it's just so squish. And the Shadow Realm, it really doesn't matter because you're untargetable. However, that is splash damage, and that is very tough to deal with. That's for everybody. I don't think Ogre's in any kind of trouble here. His natural regen right now is sitting at 7.1. Not even close to a tower, not underneath the Tango. Even the Centaur Warrunner, he's sitting at 14, but he's got a plus 8.5 on here. So it's difficult to say. I know Centaur has a really high base regen also. Let's see what else is going on. She's finally going to get a chance to return a lane. Vino's really excited. He does have a guaranteed kill, another 81 seconds. He has to do the exact same thing. Just Venomous Gale. Look at that. That is so much HP gone with one Q. There's nothing that feels good up against laning against that. Anybody throws in the Plague Words is denying themselves the pleasure of doing stuff like that, especially early on. The amount of harass that comes out of that Viper is just, I mean, excuse me, the Venomancer is super intense. I said Venomancer. Right clicks away. You can just walk away. It'll melt anyway. Cool guys don't look at explosions, but cool eyes stare right at each other. Oh, man. Broom handle was dropped. I'm really glad it was dropped. You might want to consider picking it up, maybe. Did he leave it there? It feels like that ping was... Oh, maybe he found it, picked it up, and sent it back to base. Now, retaliate. Is it worth him hitting? 70 HP. He's at 25 HP regen. Yeah, it's not worth hitting. You wait 3 seconds. He's full life, and you don't regen that way. You're having to tango out. Absolutely not worth hitting that guy at all. 4 points into that retaliate. I'm out. He can just live. I wouldn't mind throwing something out like a Ice Blast in this case. I could see that. But just standing right click, not a good idea. Ogre probably going to come up here and ward or de-ward. Does that directly in vision. We do have a Night Stalker that popped an ulti up here. Looks like he picked up a double kill. And it looks like the Lena's going to come in for the wipe up. Oh, way too much on that Shadow Blade. Really early Shadow Blade. That's the one thing. You're going to guarantee that either eyes are going to be bought out, wards are going to be bought out. You end up making them spend so much money. Make them spend so much money because you're so friggin' ganky. And I love the fact that she went boot straight into that Shadow Blade. That is going to maximize every drop that's worth. Now, look at this. I've already had wards here. They're going to have to spend as much money on wards as they possibly can. Very difficult to deal with. Just picks up her Generation Rune. Now she can just spam freely. A lot more harass coming the way of the bottom lane. Does not have his ultimate yet. Only one in that Chaos Strike. Ooh, does get the Ice Blast on the Ogre. Did he pick up on... Yeah, he definitely picked it up in that Centaur too. No regenning for you, but there is a Maledict on the way. Did not choose to use his ulti. Probably a good thing considering he's about to get stunned twice. Ooh. A little bit of run. Somebody with a lot more HP needs to hit him because he can't do it. Man, that retaliation is very it's tough. Even with the amount of strength that this Chaos Knight has, Laguna Blade popped off onto the Dark Willow. The way she looks is just terribly sad. Top lane, completely pushed in at this point. Dude, he is... I don't know about drums. I don't know if I would have considered getting drums. I'd like to see where this drums goes into. Very team-centric. Doesn't really have a lot of benefits that I can really think of. Strength, not something he necessarily needs. Everybody needs strength for HP. Intel, also something that not really sure about. That additional attack speed, I could see being a potential benefit, but you only lay on one set of Poisonous Sting. You can see here, it's not like it stacks, it just resets. So laying thicker layers of that is not necessarily a big idea. However, it is a quick way to engage, drop your Poison Nova, and get out of dodge. That does give you 20 movement speed to allies. Looks like we got another team fight going down here bottom. Chaos Knight just right-click and nukes down the Witch Doctor. I don't even think that was a try. But it could be a quick way to engage, disengage. Just be able to get your Poison Nova off in the middle of a team fight if you need to get in a little bit faster. So you only have 45 on this. Another 45 coming from our 13% movement speed. plus the additional 20. That's a constant passive. So 45, this ends up being 65 on top of an additional 13% every time he hits it. 13% coming out of here is, was it 39? Looks like 39 additional movement speed on top of the 20. So that's 60 additional movement speed on drums. Now let's show and shop. That does cost 1,700. Why not just get higher movement speed boots at that point? Viable, but then you miss out on the attack speed. Looks like he wasn't able to get off so many as he wanted to. He does launch his call down. Call down goes in, and he charges in with it using double damage. That's a lot. 3-man waves worth of that flat cannon. Does a lot of work. Does get off his missile onto the Witch Doctor. Running away from the Centaur Warrunner. He is now feared. That AoE crippling fear coming from the Night Stalker is currently not Night. And Night Stalker does have his ulti, but is choosing not to use it. Apparently does not need it. Might save that for a little bit later in this 5-minute period. That does have a cooldown. And duration is 30 seconds. Cooldown being 150 seconds from now. So knowing that that team fight was won wasn't necessary to launch that ultimate. The darkness, the Dark Ascension. Yeah. Probably the safest way to not use that right away. Especially in a winning team fight. Just bounce. Finally got something in the Plague Ward, but after maxing out Poison Sting and Venomous Scale, maximum lethality as far as him and his poisons is almost reached. All he needs is one more point of that Poison Nova. Venomous Scale cooldown actually completely reduced by 6 seconds. That is a lot of reduction. Went from 18 to 12. That's roughly 30% off of one talent. Level 10 talent. Very worth it. Especially if you're going to go ahead and abuse it very early on. From what we've seen, he's 90 and 14. He's got a lot of farm, a lot of push. So does the Lena. The Lena sitting at 136. You have the next follow-ups on what should be a lot higher. Gyrocopter at 89, despite having that flat cannon ability. Chaos Knight also doing really well. He was paired up against the Centaur Warrunner. Not bad when it comes to the lane of the Gargantuans. Night Stalker is probably going to just have to make his money in kills. So let's go into current net worth. It does see if it kind of follows up. No, Night Stalker gets to move up when you consider the kill factor, which is basically the difference from here. Top 2 contenders, 3 and 4 and 5. Still pretty good. Gyro just moved up. Centaur Warrunner doing the initiation. Does land. Nice little stomp on that AA. Venomancer's ulti committed. Despite the abuse that you can actually use on illusions right here. Looks like the Ogre Magi is going to be down along with the Night Stalker. AA is down as well. Not worth buying back even if he had it. His ultimate's basically out. That invisibility doing a lot of work on the side of Lena. She's still going to eat 2 of those. Gyrocopter's call down. He's starting to land a lot of that Rocket Barrage too. That spam ability of Rocket Barrage is ridiculous. I can understand a lot more of that Falcon Blade just because that 1.8 mana regeneration. Like I said before, the Ring of Bacillus is very beneficial. It's not like he was barely surviving with the 200 HP here and the 12 additional damage he could have placed elsewhere with the, 1,000? 1,100. So a Ring of Bacillus, a very cheap alternative for mana. See where that's at. 450, so roughly half. And that extra dough, that extra, what, $700, could have actually completed. See what he could have completed. Well, I guess, oh, man. Well, he could have got that ag slightly sooner. Like 1 part in ags, rough estimate. Ooh. Quick vision placement. Before anybody even saw it inside of his inventory. Pretty smart move. Just starts pushing mid. Did pick up the Maelstrom. Ooh, boots to get him out of dodge. Not the worst place to boot up. Only has 4 left. I would be scared with 4 left. Consider getting different boots. It does, looks like he just got picked off. Chaos Knight picked up a quick kill. Went back to farming. That Ogre has actually died quite a few times this match, just trying to ward and counter ward that one spot, despite already winning that lane. Ooh, Vino does drop the ultimate on the Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter is dealing with the Maledict now. He's dead. No matter what, that dude is gone. Witch Doctor gets retaliated on. It looks like the Dark Willow gets the wipe up money from there. Ogre's coming in. His turn to try it mid. Why not? Full Ignite. I love the fact that he went so much in that Bloodlust. Now this is a position 4-5. That Bloodlust perk. He's not going in to go ahead and steal the kills. He's making sure other people can get the kills. Putting that on the Lina though, a little bit ridiculous for attack speed. Veno, maybe one of the better contenders, but still, it's not like the poison actually stacks. Centaur War Runner could benefit from it, especially if he's going to be running in face first. Don't mess up that last hit. There we go. All right, so let's look at some of the items. We can look at it this way. We do have Ag sitting on top of the Gyrocopter when it comes to, man, Night Stalker. He's got a ways to go. So Zitz on the Gyrocopter. Ooh, we got something going on. Looks like they're going to go ahead and commit this call down just for that really annoying Vino. Man, once that Brambles was let out, call down, you know he's kind of screwed. Knight kind of coming their way. A little bit of harass damage. If he picked up, he's almost done. He's going to pick up that Aether Lens. Looks like, I'm guessing here, he bought 2 energy boosters. There's a chance he's not going to convert these boots. Well, now he's definitely not going to convert those boots. Might save that and pick up Nocturian Core, I bet. Only reason why you'd keep 2 energy boosters. Ooh. Yep. He knows for a fact there's a lot of vision there. Maledict AoE, a very constant mandatory item for the Witch Doctor, or skill tree set. More paint being laid down the way of Ignite. And they get the counter ward. I wonder if they let Lina place the ward. Actually, I believe the same person who buys the ward has to be the one to place the ward. All right, so we got Gyro. Hasn't really done a whole lot outside of his Axe. On his way to Maelstrom. We got a stun going off on the Ogre Magi. He'll be totally fine. Man, if Night Stalker wants to play a role in this, he is going to have to be very farm-centric. Looks like Chaos Knight doing really good with the S and Y sitting in his pocket. Man, that AA really good at landing those ultimates really quickly. He's going to make beautiful work of that. Centaur's HP. To get another ulti off from the Venomancer. I don't think it's going to be enough to really kill anybody here. Venomous Gale, best way to go when you're going to pair those up together. Looks like Chaos Knight's not going to have a hard time. Should have just kept right-clicking at that point. There's no point in running away. You were definitely going to die if she didn't die first. Never going to get out of range. She was very focused on you. It would have been different if she was going to try to tag up and chase the AA, or she's going to switch targets. But no, she wanted your face. So you should have just helped. They were trying to help you. Sometimes it's okay to help yourself help you. All right, everybody's kind of dead. Looks like we did have an S&Y picked up on the Chaos Knight. We do have a pipe sitting on top of the Dark Willow. Get right on the Chaos Knight. Axel Night Stalker. Zit on the Gyrocopter. Jusuf. Sitting. Hannah Midas. That is a pocket gold right there. Lagzix. Sitting on the Lina. Does have the Shadow Blade, which I'm in love with. Chrysalis now turned into a Silver Edge. So beautiful. So much pain. Ogre Magi. Not a whole lot. Looks like he might be working towards that. Ooh, Aether Lens. Looks like Chaos Knight's going to have to go ahead and drop his ultimate. Attempt to live. Witch Doctor makes sure he dies. Call down coming in along with an AA ult. That might actually kill off that Ogre. Ogre's going to crap himself for a little bit. Centaur's going to go ahead and pick up. Yeah, come on. Yep, I knew he was dead. Ogre bounced, that's for sure. Nothing he could really do. Another bonus stun. Some Brambles coming in. She is definitely not going to be carry build. Definitely hardcore support. Does have a Pipe of Insight. Let's see what else we got. Kyoyojin, Venomancer, Goms, Witch Doctor, Keepnan, Centaur War Runner. Alright, so now we got some of that out of the way. Let's see what other items we got. Hanamitis, we got the Shadow or Silver Edge now. Eventually an Arcturian Core. Oh, yeah, the Maelstrom sitting on top of the Veno. That's primarily just for pushing. This is probably going to end up going into BKB. It's got that look like on the Courier. Aeon Disc on the Witch Doctor, trying not to die. Blink Dagger on the Centaur on top of so much sustain. He currently has Chip Vest, Hooded Defiance, tons of magic resistance and HP. Vanguard, tons of HP and HP regen. It's that's a nightmare. The fact that the Blink Dagger and the Hoof Stomp is going to be a thing makes life hard. Looks like they're just going to get the jump on this Courier. They get out the wards. They get out the Dark Willow. We do have Fear coming outside of the way of the Night Stalker. They make quick work of him. I'm going to go ahead and cast out that Witch Doctor ult, who's sitting directly out of range of that call down. I think he burnt part of his front end off there. Yeah. Oh, Ogre DC. I kind of wish I could chat. Hi. So good. Yee. Casting. That. Oh, man. Very fun game so far. Doesn't look like any of the builds are anywhere near as different as we were seeing in some of the other games that are coming out of Sean. This one, though, that Silver Edge direct on that Lina, that's pretty boss. Silver Edge directly onto that BKB. You already got bonus range on there. You kind of rock mid. This is probably the biggest character I personally would like to follow, just to see what she ends up doing with that Silver Edge. She picked it up to go ahead and kill somebody's passes off. So if you look, not a lot of passes on the Gyrocopter. There's a little bit on the Night Stalker. Not that he's a really big concern, but that does take down the attack speed and the movement speed. So counter ganks from him aren't really easy to deal with. Looks like they're going to just... I mean, it's a slow fry, but he's definitely going to fry. Chaos Knight, it's going to stop his Chaos Strike there. I mean, every other ability works, but that is a lot of crit you don't have to deal with for 4 seconds, but it's still nothing that's going to be necessarily game-breaking. Dark Willow, I mean, once she's in Shallow Rim, which would be, I guess, kind of a passive. It's not like you can target her anyway. And AA, who cares? I mean, it looks like it's just going to be a crap ton of damage. It's still a pocket 175 bonus physical damage. It's guaranteed to hit 160 on top of regular damage. So you end up with 140 on top of the 100. That ends up 250 rough estimate. Another 300 and 425 damage off of her first right click-ish. I go with 500. 500 on a right click on top of her 900 damage on the Laguna Blade. You're looking at roughly 1,500. She can... Dark Willow's dead. Oh, AA is super dead. Chaos Knight, not so dead. But all she really has to do is just walk up and... Oh, hold on. Yeah. So let's see if she actually pulled that off. I'm going to go ahead and rewind this just about here. Let's follow the Lina here. Boom. Oh, so much pain. I don't know if she opened right, though, is my concern. Did she open actually with... Yeah, so it looks like she... I'm really curious. Let's go with the Lina. I want to see what she pops. So she's regenning HP. She TP's up here. Right click first? No, she did not right click first. She actually missed out on a lot of damage right there. It's okay. Looks like they were able to get Kongor. AA died. Not a big concern. We didn't look like we missed a whole lot. Centaur did die as well as the Witch Doctor. Kind of curious to see to who. It looks like probably going to guess a call down. Oh, got a kill on the Witch Doctor. Picked up double damage. Went down and tore down the Centaur War Runner. Then decided to retire himself up to the top jungle. Did pick up the additional flat cannon bonus. That flat cannon, I mean, he just sits on the side. It's a lot of extra damage one way or the other, though. A lot of extra damage. So Axe is already picked up on that route. Oh, man. See, now Lena needs to do... Man, I'm really hoping Lena picked... No, forget that. That plus 300 right-click damage. So if you pick up... Where is it at? Show it to me. Show it to me. It looks like it might be... Oh, there it is. It's on the wrong team. Crap. So, yeah, it's definitely on the wrong team. But if she was able to get the Enchanted Totem... not Enchanted Totem. Enchanted Quiver. When you open this up, it's actually based on the team, the one the person is clicking at. So that Enchanted Quiver plus 300 damage on that times 1.6. Or actually, plus 1.6 multiplier. So that's 600 and way too much. Way too much. That basically means her first right click gets a 600 and 60% of 300. Looks like 150. Let's go 175. So 750 on her first right click just from that one item, on top of the additional damage she's doing from her right click and the item itself. She can one-shot out of Silver Edge. She can one-shot AA. She can one-shot Dark Willow. She can't one-shot the Gyro. Here she comes, though. Who's she going to break on? It looks like she goes... Oh, see, that's the downside. Is she let a lot of that damage go to waste when she started casting her spells, unfortunately. She needs to open up with right-click on that Silver Edge and then go immediately into casting. Right-click on the Silver Edge and you cast your stun. They don't have a lot of time to react. Human reaction time is like milliseconds, but from you popping out from invisibility, I mean, it is pretty intense. Laguna Labuse does get the Dark Willow. She's nuking down that Night Stalker. Doesn't have any kind of lifesteal or anything yet. Still able to get out that Silver Edge and disengage. How much HP is left? Look at like 1,100. She could... Oh, she can definitely right-click him down. She did so. Might die to the tower. Oh, she does not. Good job at bouncing. 371 additional gold. Looks like Centaur's going to pick up the kill on the Chaos Knight. Oof. Free Scotty? I mean, look at that attack speed. That is 1, 2, and 3. And that's without any kind of additional bonuses. She just keeps herself at 3 stacks. That Scotty's going to provide a lot of that regen. There's no actual regen coming off from the Silver Edge, but it's still 35 attack speed on top of the Fiery Soul. That is a very dangerous Lena. I feel like she plays a lot of Lena. She's probably trying to play into that silence. 1.75 seconds. That additional silence time. Make sure she doesn't get retaliated back on her individual target. She's going to get feared. She ends up getting feared towards the mid lane. Almost picked up on that set of racks. It looks like we have the range barracks that were left behind. Looks like it's also, it doesn't re-heal, but it's in at 1,260. She could wipe that sucker down really fast. Now the Mindbreaker, very beneficial, very sweet, very good item. Could have probably traded the Aegis, though, for that ranged. Might have came with Aegis ranged and her life. Very smart play to actually just run back. Just why overextend, why overengage. It's 31 to 35. It looks like, at least on paper, it can go anybody's way. I love this invis ward here. No one can see it. Nobody looks at it, gets out of your way. Let's see who gets caught off guard. She's TPing top. Let's let the override camera go back to work. Gets a pick off on the Ogre Magi. She's going to bust in. Does open up with that Fiery Soul build up. She does have her BKB, so she's not super worried. Does catch a secondary effect on that call down. Enough right click to take out the Dark. A TP out from the AA. Venomancer doesn't have his ultimate yet. How much time does he have left for that Venomous Scale? Looks like he does have it available. Might want to consider using it. Possibly dead anyway, and that's a good way to slow and disengage. Able to survive out of drum charges. Still does a passive 20 movement speed to everybody, though. So that's like buying everyone a Windraker. It's super friendly, or Windlands. Centaur coming in. Does still have the blink. Also picked up a Lotus Orb here. 1-3 on the left. Looks like cooldown on the Stampede. Double-edged strength. And movement speed. Another blink in. Some more right click. Vanguard going. Very likely to be a GG game here. Ooh. Starts plowing through that Night Stalker. Nothing they can really do. Even stunned. And no mana with an MKB in her pocket. Really not worried. MKB probably because gyrocopters typically pick up a butterfly. Doesn't look like anybody else has any other issues. But one way or the other, knowing that you can also fight uphill because you have an MKB, really good idea. It's going to go ahead and eat 2 of those cooldowns. No longer has Aegis. Does have BKB. Enticing enough to bait in the gyrocopter, which was trying to taste a kill. Not the greatest idea. Looks like they went ahead and committed the ward coming off the Witch Doctor. Chaos Knight does get the jump on the Centaur. Disengage. Gyrocopter did have to pay for that buyback. That is an expensive buyback. Let's see where he's sitting at. 22, 23. Oh, yeah, that is super expensive. So right now it costs roughly 1,700, 1,800 gold. That's a lot of buyback money. Vino just right-clicking things to death over here. Just trying to farm everything he possibly can. Stay viable in the game. It is 38-37, but there's a 19K net worth gold lead, but they don't see that. All they know is that they're able to push in, push up high. They're able to take tons of team fights for the most part. It's 38-37, so considering everybody's still viable candidates of death, it's kind of tough. Unless you open up this graph here and you go to the KDAs. Ooh. Looks like call down. Another one. Kind of thrown out on the creeps. Oh, man, Shadow Realm not enough to keep her alive there. It's a backdoor scenario. Ooh, does get the stun off. I feel like... Oh, man. Totally jumping out of there. Looks like they also got the Silent Sphere going on from the Night Stalker. Feeling viable for once. 20. I take that back. No longer feeling viable. Oh, man. Still pushing up anyway. The only buddy left is Chaos Knight. Poor Night Stalker. That was an extremely good game. Very well done. I'm going to call GG. Pretty sure they should call GG at this point, too. Yeah. Yeah, that's a wrap. Really? I thought it would just end. It would just end. There it goes. Late? DeToNator victory. DeToNator. Man, that was a beautiful game. Look like we're going to check out a round 2 of this. Oh, man. So violent. There's a lot of the differences that you see in some of these builds coming out from ASEAN. I mean, it's pretty dope. I still think the Juggernaut's one of my favorites. The Shadow Blade on the Lena, very viable. Very viable. But it's kind of hard to go straight into a Silver Edge. But I see the point. I definitely see the point. The right click ends up being a lot of extra damage on top of it. Plus, the item itself gives you right click, but that first one, if you could just right click and then Laguna Blade, that essentially meant that you can easily one-shot the Dark Willow, the AA. Never would have been an issue. You can basically farm them all day long. Doesn't give you any kind of valid escape. I mean, it's definitely an initiation. She used it to make sure she can always kind of land a perfect stun. The stun actually has a cast lined up timing. So getting that first right click, again, silencing them is almost as good as landing the stun, in my humble opinion. We're going to go ahead and say it here and wait for a second. They should start up at round 2 of this. Definitely, because they've been doing round 2s of everybody else. So here we go, DeToNator StarTale. I'm going to reset the stream. I'm going to name this game 2. I'll be back in like roughly 2 minutes or so.